This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFilm London. We're at the Blackpool Hilton here. With me I've got promoter Chris SANIGAR. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm terrific, thank you.
Chris, you've done something that no one's been able to do for 15 years. Bring British title to Bristol, British title fight to Bristol since Glenn Catley and Neville Brown back in '98. You know, it's a massive thing you've done, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a feat. In fact, you know, going back to 1994, Ross Hell versus Andy Holligan was the first British title fight. So then the second one was Glenn Catley, Neville Brown. And yeah, we're pleased to be able to do it. You know, we won the purse bids. You know, everyone said we couldn't do it. We didn't have TV, but you know, we put our hands in our pocket and pulled out the dough.
Why, in your opinion, has it taken 15 years to have a British title fight in Bristol?
Well, you know, it's like everything. You know, British champions, they don't come along that often. We did have Scott Dan previously, but he came from Plymouth, and so we put the shows on down there. They were in 2006, but like I said, you know, I've been managing and training the boxers since 1990, and sort of 23 years, and I've had 6 British champions, but and 3 have come from Bristol. You know, 3 have been Bristolians, and you know, so you know, it's been a long time coming. Haskins was on the road a lot. You know, we were working with Frank Maloney at the time, and he kept wanting to put the shows up north. You know, and it was very frustrating. You know, Haskins went 5 years, I think, without defeat. You know, it was very difficult to beat. You know, we won the purse bids for the European title. The first time we worked with McKenzie, put a great show on with Tyson Fury as the main event. We had a sellout crowd, and second time we won the purse bids, but we just couldn't put it on. It was just too much money on our own without the TV. Yeah.
So Lee Haskins fights Martin Ward, Newcastle's Martin Ward, British title fight next Saturday. Who else is on the bill, Chris?
Okay, the chief support is Dean Francis. Dean is a former British, Commonwealth and European champion. In fact, you know, each time he's relinquished those titles, he's never been beaten for a title. So we're aiming for him to come back. He's had 2 wins. So, you know, another win hopefully next Saturday on the 27th. And we would then put him in. He's just been ordered to box Courtney Fry for an eliminator. It's a fight we'd be keen to put on in Bristol. Again, just to give our man home advantage. And you know, I foresee him going on. You know, he's in great form.
Lee's obviously looking to bounce back from his losing his Euro title back in December to Jamoy. So, you know, Lee's won everything domestically, Commonwealth, European, British. At this stage of Lee's career, how far do you think he can go still?
Well, I mean, Lee Haskins was 1 punch away from beating Jamoy. In the 6th round, you know, the referee could have stopped that in Lee Haskins' favour, and you know, it's very difficult over there. You know, I would say our man was beat. All right, Jamoy, you know, gritted it out and deserved the victory. You know, for his guts and courage. But during that fight, that the referee continually interfered, you know, and whilst Haskins was on top, kept saying that Haskins was ducking low and this and that, you know, and it was always when Haskins was on top. And who knows, if that fight had been in Bristol, I believe Haskins would have won. You know, and then that would have, you know, sort of made him then more or less top contender for the WBC title. You know, it's very difficult to see how far he can go. You know, he just needs that slice of luck. The main thing is getting that British title back. That, you know, that is what we're aiming at. You know, gave Lee Haskins home advantage. Let's get that top bantamweight title, you know, and then from there, you know, we may box Jamoy again, or go a different route.
Do you think Lee Haskins is somewhat of an underrated fighter in this country?
I definitely think he's underrated. I think I'm very upset with Sky not taking some of his fights. In fact, the last fight was televised by ESPN, and that was voted in Boxing Monthly as #2 overseas fight of the year. And believe it or not, #1 was Pacquiao and Marquez. And then you got Lee Haskins and Jamoy on the same page. Can you believe it? Pacquiao and Lee Haskins in the same article. It's unbelievable.
So obviously the fight is just over a week away. So preparation-wise, everything gone spot on for Lee leading up to now?
Yes, Haskins has trained hard. He's worked hard at promoting the show. If we're not successful, or if we don't, have a sellout crowd, we can't do no more. Haskins has trained hard. If he gets beat, then it's not over, but it'd be very disappointing. Likewise, if we don't have a sellout crowd, that too will be very disappointing.
I've just worked out how old you are, Chris, and you look nowhere near your age.
Praise God. Praise God. Yeah, I am old. Just nothing else. I am old.
Listen, I was quite surprised to hear how old you was. I didn't realise, and you just when I saw you on ringside yesterday in the front row there, it was just like turning the clock back to last week. You look exactly the same hair, just look exactly the same. And likewise, maybe I think I should be the most informative person in boxing, actually. I should be the cleverest guy in boxing, because I was educated by Mickey Duff. From then on, I was then with Frank Warren. I was educated with Frank Warren, by Frank Warren as well, on all those big shows. I've worked with every promoter that's been, in boxing for the last sort of 20 years. So, I've got a lot of experience. I've enjoyed working with everybody. I like to think I get on with, mostly everyone in the game. And my last fight was back in 1984. When I was 3 years old.
Yeah. So it's like anything. I boxed pro in the 70s. So it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, and is that five? 70s,
80s, 90s,
four, yeah. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000.
It's five.
Five. That's crazy, isn't it? That's five decades. How about that? Yeah? That is crazy, isn't it?
I'd like to see you do a duet with this woman that's doing karaoke later on, so maybe another vodka or two and you might be up there.
Let me tell you, I wish I could sing. It's better than that fighting. all those singers, they get all the girls.
All right, well listen, Chris, thank you very much for talking to us. If you could arrange it in the week to get Lee Haskins on the phone, perhaps we'll do a phone interview with him leading up to the fight, probably start of the week. If you could organise that, it'd be good to talk to Lee about the upcoming fight next Saturday. Okay, brilliant, we'll get Lee Haskins on the blower, no problem. All right, Chris SANIGAR, thank you very much for talking to Wife from London, and wish you the best of luck with your show next week. Thank you very much. Thank you, KUGAN, brilliant.